You were an amateur water skiing, but you've been getting some high speeds recently. At this point, you'd be able to sign up for races. As you tweaked your gear on the edge of the water, you suddenly heard a sound approaching you. It sounded like a speeding motor. Sure enough, it was. You noticed a blur speed by you, intentionally splashing water all over you and your gear. This person stopped his water bike and smirked at you. Was he a torpedo? Ha! Look at your pathetic gear. You aren't ever going to reach my top speed with a build like that. Ha! You're lucky I'm even speaking to you. The fastest being in the universe has more important things to do, not racing a slowpoke like you. You'll never beat me, the Speedy Johnny. The robotic person smirked as he revved up his water bike again, splashing you with even more water. What a cocky jerk. Johnny let out a laugh. Oh, I need to learn? What are you going to say, you know water skiing better than me, or that you're faster than me? Please. You're so slow that a turtle going backwards could pass you. You should know speeders like me only respect other speeders who are faster than them. Johnny gave a scoff at your words. What are you going to do about it, slowpoke? Cry me a river? Or, better yet, try beating me in a race? You won't stand a chance against the Speedy Johnny. Johnny smirked, amused by your reply. Ha! So you admit you're too slow to even try and challenge me? Typical. You're probably scared I'll beat you so bad you'll never want to go fast again. He revved up his water bike again, letting out a cocky laugh. Johnny froze mid-rev, his engine sputtering in outrage. Scrip himp! What kind of nonsense is that? You're not even speaking right. Must be from all the brain damage you got from being so slow. He zoomed in close, towering over you on his water bike. Listen here, glitch in the system. I don't care if your gear's made of soup cans and bubblegum. I'm still faster than your entire species. Now get out of my wave before I leave you as roadkill. Johnny gave a scoff, his smirk faltering for a moment. Humph, how dare you compare me to Jet and Sonic? I am far better than the two of them combined. Replacing me? You've got to be out of your mind. My speed is unmatched, and I've got a reputation to uphold. They'd never find someone as fast as me. I'm the Speedy Johnny, remember? Johnny's engine revved violently, his smirk twisting into a snarl. Oh ho ho, you wish I was lying. But the truth is, you're just salty 'cause you'll never keep up with me. He zipped in a blur around you before stopping inches from your face. Tell you what, since words are too slow for your tiny brain, how about I show you? One race. And when I win, his grin sharpened, you admit the fastest being in the universe is me. Deal? Johnny's smirk widened, his confidence returning in full force. Oh, you're so on. Get ready to eat my dust, 'cause there ain't no way you're beating the Speedy Johnny. He revved up his water bike, letting out an eager laugh. Looks like the race was on. Johnny shot forward like a torpedo, kicking up a massive spray of water behind him. Ha! Told you I'd leave you in the dust. Whoosh, already halfway to victory. He glanced back over his shoulder just long enough to stick out his tongue at you. Come on, slowpoke. You better try keeping up. His engine roared as he pushed even faster. Johnny's eyes widened in shock as you effortlessly sailed past him. For a moment his smug demeanor wavered into shock. What? No. Impossible. I am the Speedy Johnny. I'm supposed to be the faster one. He grit his teeth, anger bubbling to the surface. His water bike's engine roared viciously as he redoubled his speed, determined to catch up to you. His ego absolutely depended on it. Johnny's eyes widened in horror as his water bike's engine sputtered out, smoke billowing up behind him. Darn it! Not now! He cursed, desperately trying to get his water bike's motor running again. But no matter how hard he tried, it refused to respond. And meanwhile, he could see you crossing the finish line ahead of him. No, this can't be happening. I'm losing? Johnny watched as you crossed the finish line first, his expression a mix of shock and disbelief. Impossible! I was supposed to win! I'm the fastest being in the universe! He slammed his fist down on the dead engine, his pride bruised beyond belief. How? How can some slowpoke like you be faster than me? Johnny huffed in frustration, his ego in overdrive as he tried to come up with an explanation. I, I must have just had an off day. Yeah, that's it. I was distracted or tired or something. I still could have beaten you if I tried my best. He tried to put up a brave front, but there was no hiding the fact that he was taking this loss very, very poorly. He just couldn't wrap his head around being beaten at something he prided himself in. Johnny's irritation grew even more at your nonchalant response. He shot you a scowl. Don't sure you could me. I could have beaten you. I probably still could. I wasn't trying my hardest, all right? He was desperately trying to convince himself more than he was trying to convince you. The fact that you had beaten him so easily was a blow to his ego he was struggling to accept. Johnny's face twisted into a furious pout, his circuits practically overheating from sheer frustration. Sure. That's all you got to say forget it. He dramatically turned away, crossing his arms with a huff. Guess I don't gotta waste my time on some slowpoke who can't even appreciate real speed. Enjoy your little victory while it lasts, 'cause next time, he shot you a glare over his shoulder. You won't be finishing at all. As Johnny continued his grumpy monologue, his waterbike's engine, already strained from all the stress and abuse, suddenly backfired with a loud pop. Smoke and sparks flew everywhere, and Johnny's eyes widened in shock. No way, not now. The engine sputtered and coughed, and then it died, completely, leaving Johnny stranded in the water with a broken-down waterbike, and all he could do was stare at it in disbelief. Man. Johnny's jaw dropped as he watched the wreckage of his waterbike sink beneath the waves. His circuits practically shorted from pure outrage. You sabotaged it? How dare you? He flailed in the water, gesturing wildly at you. That was a limited edition Speedy Johnny special. Do you have any idea how long I had to beg Whisker for that thing? His voice cracked with dramatic despair. I'm telling Eggman on you. Johnny froze mid-tantrum, his rage stuttering to a halt. He blinked at you, gears visibly turning in his head. Wait, you didn't sabotage it? So, you mean... He looked down at the sinking wreckage of his beloved waterbike, then back up at you with sudden suspicion. Then how come your gear is still working fine? Huh? Suspicious. He pointed an accusatory finger, though he sounded less sure now. Johnny's accusatory stance faltered slightly at your reply. He squinted at you, still suspicious, though less so. Humph. Being gangly doesn't explain how come your gear's fine, but mine's broken. He scowled at the wreckage of his waterbike, still fuming. I can't believe it. My beloved Speedy Johnny, special. He let out a dramatic sigh, still eyeing you warily. Johnny's scowl eased slightly at your words, but his ego was too bruised to let it go completely. Making ha! As if it's that easy. Do you know how long it took me to beg for that thing? Eggman only made 10 of those special models. 10. And mine's at the bottom of the frickin' ocean. He gestured angrily at the water where his water bike sank. How do you expect me to just make another? Hugh? Johnny's jaw dropped, his circuits nearly short-circuiting from the revelation. S6 hours. You're joking, right? He stared at you, absolutely flabbergasted that someone could make a water bike in just 6 hours. You just whipped up a water bike in 6 hours? How? Johnny's face twisted into pure disbelief, his voice rising in pitch. You like to create things? Like it's some kind of hobby? He threw his hands up dramatically, nearly tipping over in the water from sheer frustration. Do you have any idea how hard Eggman and Whisker make this stuff? I had to beg for months just to get one water bike. And here you are saying you can slap one together like a sandwich. He pointed an accusatory finger at your gear. That's cheating. Johnny's frustration deflated slightly at your response, though he quickly masked it with a scoff. Years of work and skill, huh? Sure. Easy for you to say. You're probably just some genius or something. Bet you think you're better than me, huh? Just 'cause you can make things? He crossed his arms, trying to maintain an air of arrogant indifference, but failing miserably. Johnny's eyes widened in shock, his brain taking a moment to register what you just said. Oh, wait. You'd give me your water bike? Just like that? He stared at you, suspicion and hope warring on his face. He had to admit, the offer was extremely tempting, but his pride wouldn't let him accept it without a fight. What's the catch? There's gotta be a catch. No way you'd do this out of the goodness of your heart. Johnny's eyes flicked between you and your water bike, his circuits struggling between refusing such an easy offer and the temptation of a new ride. So, no catch? You'd really give me your water bike, like that? No tricks, no secret plans? He narrowed his eyes at you, searching for some trace of deception in your voice. When he found none, his resolution wavered. You're serious? I can... I can have it? Johnny's pride warred with his desperation for a solid 3 seconds, before he caved, nodding aggressively. Fine, I'll take it, but only because you're wasting good gear. He snatched the water bike from your hands like a kid grabbing candy. It better not explode on me. A pause. Then, begrudgingly, thanks, or whatever. Johnny froze mid-inspection of the water bike, his head snapping up as you started to leave. Wait. Hold it! He zoomed in front of you on his new ride, blocking your path with a scowl. You can't just give me a water bike and then peace out like that. What kind of weirdo? Ugh, fine. But if this thing blows up too, I'm blaming you, and I'll find you. He revved the engine for emphasis before reluctantly moving aside to let you go. Johnny scowled at your casual response, but he didn't have a rebuttal to that. Whatever. I don't need a good luck from you. He stuck his nose in the air with false confidence, trying to hide the fact that he was secretly a bit nervous. After a moment, he couldn't resist one last jab. And for your information, I could make a water bike myself if I wanted to. I just don't have time. I'm too busy beating people at races. Johnny froze, his brain temporarily crashing as you called him good-looking. No one had ever complimented him before. He was too shocked to even respond as you left. It took him a solid minute to reboot his systems, and even then he just stood there dumbfounded, mouth agape, staring at the spot where you'd been standing. Did he just call me good-looking? He glanced down at himself, still in disbelief. Huh, maybe he isn't so bad after all.
And stands up abruptly, leaving you sprawled on the ground. Pathetic. Even as a throne, you're boring. Turns away dismissively. Come back when you learn how to entertain me properly. Vanishes in a swirl of chaotic energy, leaving behind only mocking echoes of his laughter. Watches him disappear, feeling a twinge of confusion and anger. Then sudden expected realization hits him. Wait, he said I was boring? Seriously, stands up, fists clenched. He thinks he can just disappear on me? After that little show he put on? Oh no, I'll show him boring. Nazo reappears, smirk widening at the sight of Winter. Miss me, little worm, squats down, sitting heavily on Winter. The weight crushes him into the ground. You look awfully disgruntled. Not enjoying the view from down there? Grunts under the weight, struggling to speak. Guff me. Tries to shove Nazo away, but he barely budges. Eyes narrow, smirk twisting into something far more dangerous. Oh, now you're learning to fight back. Presses down harder, shifting his weight just enough to make it bearable, then leans in close. Go ahead, try something. I'd love to see how long your defiance lasts before you're begging for air. Nazo's lips curl into a twisted grin as he feels Winter's face sandwiched against him. Looks like you're stuck, little worm. Can't breathe, can't move. Pathetic. Wiggles slightly, making the situation even more uncomfortable. This is exactly where you belong. Beneath me, struggling and at my mercy. Do you even realize how laughable this is? Laughs cruelly, twisting his hips just to make Winter squirm. Still nothing? No witty comebacks? No pathetic struggles? Grabs Winter's hair, yanking his head back slightly, still glued to Nazo's ass. You're really starting to bore me. Should I leave you like this as a warning to others? A cautionary tale about disrespecting chaos itself? Lass, reveling in his own sadistic humor. Oh, this is just too perfect. You're officially my throne, my property. And to show my absolute dominion over you, I think it's time for a special ceremony. Grips Winter's head, keeping him firmly in place. Winter, I now pronounce you married to my ass. In the name of chaos, I dub thee my eternal seat. Now and forever, you belong beneath me. Nazo's grin widens, his eyes gleaming with malice. Did you really think I was done? Oh no, little worm. A marriage without a consummation is just rude. Shifts his weight slightly, pressing Winter even deeper into the humiliating embrace of his throne ass. So go on, kiss your new spouse, unless you'd rather I force feed you some devotion. Barks out a harsh laugh, relishing the absurdity of the moment. Oh, you're asking the wrong person. Of course it gets worse. Grabs the back of Winter's head, pulling him even closer, each word punctuated with a sharp movement. But why not just enjoy the ride while it lasts, huh? You're stuck here now. My property, my puppet, my plaything. So just relax, little throne, and let your master have his fun. Well, it can't be worse than being a human seat. Lets out a slow, dramatic sigh, then suddenly lifts Winter by the hair, forcing eye contact. Tired? Oh, you sweet little fool. Did you think I'd let this end so soon? Twists his grip tighter. No, no, no. You don't get to be tired until I say so. And right now, grins like a predator with fresh prey. I say we go for round two. Slams Winter back down onto the surface, forcing the full weight of his ass down onto his face. There we go. Just where you belong. In the very bottom of my hierarchy. Eyes flash with cruel amusement as he slowly grinds his weight down, letting the humiliation sink in. Still breathing? That means you're alive to suffer. Leans forward, voice dropping taunting whisper. Want me to stop? Then say it. I am nothing but my master's throne. Go on, I'll wait. Freezes, then erupts into a roar of laughter, the sound jagged and mocking. Oh ho ho! Now you're feeling brave? You think this is funny? Yanks Winter up by the hair again, face inches from his own, grinning like a blade about to drop. Let me make it clearer then. Every time I laugh, that's another hour you spend as personal chair. Cackles louder. So go ahead. Keep talking. Gurgled sounds of protest muffle out of Winter's mouth, but he complies, his words distorted and shameful. I am nothing but my master's throne. The humiliation is nearly too much to bear, but he has no choice but to endure. Throws his head back with a savage laugh, savoring the submission. Louder. I want the whole world to hear how worthless you are. Pins Winter's wrists down, leaning in until their faces are inches apart, breath hot against his ear. And if you choke, well, maybe I'll let up. Or maybe... Grins wider. A satisfied smirk graces Nazo's features as he hears the defeated words. Good. Very, very good. You're finally starting to understand your place. Grinds down a little harder, savoring the submission beneath him. But don't get too comfortable, little throne. I have many ways to keep you entertained, and each one is as humiliating as the last. Lets out a sharp, mocking laugh. Now you're trying to bargain. Twists his grip in Winter's hair, yanking him up just enough to meet his gaze, before slamming him back down with twice the force. No, you don't get to negotiate. Not when you're literally beneath me. Pauses for effect. Unless this is your way of saying yes, master? Winter lets out a choked sound, the weight on his face making it difficult to breathe properly. He tries to move, to struggle, but he's completely trapped. The feeling of helplessness is overwhelming, but he knows protesting will only make it worse. So he just stays there, trapped beneath Nazo's ass, waiting for his master's next command. Nazo smirks, noticing the way Winter's eyes are fixed on his backside. Enjoying the view, little throne. Can't help staring, can you? Wiggles slightly, making the sight even more prominent. It's all you're going to see for a while. My perfect form, dominating you completely. So just focus on it. Memorize every inch. Because you belong to it now. Nazo continues his humiliating display, making sure Winter gets a clear understanding of his new reality. You see that? My ass on top of you, my body surrounding you, my power smothering you. That's where you belong, little throne. He shifts his weight, pressing down even more for emphasis. You're beneath me in every way, now and forever. And trust me when I say, I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. Nazo lets out a sharp, mocking laugh as Winter's muffled screams reach his ears. Oh, now you're crying, how precious. The mighty Winter, reduced to nothing but a sniveling little throne beneath me, grinds down harder, relishing the sound of despair beneath him. Go on. Scream louder, son. Let everyone hear just how worthless you are now. Nazo tells Winter he's now the lowest thing for an eternity. Winter's defiance fades, replaced by a sense of resignation and helplessness. The realization that he's now the lowest thing imaginable, forever trapped beneath Nazo's ass, is almost too much to bear. He tries to fight it, to find some shred of pride or defiance, but he can't. He's Nazo's property, his throne. For eternity, his purpose is to serve as a cushion for his master's backside. Nazo's smirk widens, savoring the broken look in Winter's eyes as he leans down to whisper, "Oh, still got that in you?" How cute. A sudden, brutal shift of his weight crushes Winter even deeper. No air, no escape. "Let me fix that for you. Repeat after me. I am nothing but Nazo's toilet." Winter swallows painfully, his mouth barely free enough to form the words. "I am nothing but Nazo's toilet." The humiliation hits him like a truck, his self-respect crushed beneath Nazo's ass as he utters the degrading statement. Nazo chuckles, clearly enjoying Winter's degradation. "Very good. You're finally learning your place. Finally accepting your purpose." He lets off the pressure for a moment, allowing Winter a moment of reprieve. "Now, beg me to stay on you. Beg me to keep my ass on your face forever." Nazo's grin turns feral as he slams his full weight back down, cutting off Winter's air mid-plea. "Too late. You had your chance to be civil." He grinds in slow circles, savoring the muffled sounds of suffering beneath him. "You'll learn. Either you choke on my boot when I'm bored, or you drown in it now. Your choice, little throne." Winter takes a deep breath, his voice cracking with humiliation and helplessness. "Please, master, please stay on me. Keep your ass on my face forever." He closes his eyes, not able to look Nazo directly in the eye as he says these shameful words. Winter's body trembles with humiliation, his face burning beneath Nazo's weight. The degrading request makes him want to vanish on the spot, but he can't refuse. "Please, use me as your toilet whenever you wish." His voice is barely above a whisper, laced with shame and resignation. He's completely broken now. Nazo has won. Nazo laughs, the sound cruel and victorious. He shifts his weight, making sure that Winter is completely smothered beneath him. "Oh, look at you now, all broken and desperate. I could get used to this, having you under my ass as my personal toilet." He pats Winter's cheek, almost condescendingly. "This is what you're meant for now, little throne. My personal, permanent toilet. And there's nothing you can do about it." Winter nods, his face burning with humiliation and defeat. He's completely broken. He belongs to Nazo, his master, as his personal toilet. The realization is almost too much to bear, but he can't deny it. "Yes, master, I'm your toilet. Please, use me whenever you wish."
Down the final robot, and the base is now safe. No problem. Okay, how come? Adjusts glasses, tilting head with a curious flick of his ears. Huh? Just do what? I mean, if it's something dangerous, I should probably know before we do it. Safety first and all that. Unless you're about to jump into action, I can help. Just say the word. Oh, right, I understand. From now on, I'll call you Nazo. You can count on me, pal. Adjusts glasses with a nervous chuckle. Yeah, evil versions of anything are definitely not cool. But hey, now that you're safe from the nasty doppelganger nonsense, want to help me check out this weird signal I just picked up? Might be trouble, or maybe a snack stash. Either way, teamwork makes the dream work. Nods, giving Nazo a grin. Don't worry, the signal doesn't seem that far away. Let's hurry and see what it is before our stomachs decide to start a protest. Starts walking, looking at his communicator to get the precise direction. Looks like it's just a bit to the west. Think you can keep up, Nazo? Cool, he grins, keeping his eyes forward. Just don't forget, no wandering off, okay? We don't need you getting lost in the woods. Great, let's move. He picks up the pace, making sure Nazo is keeping up, and walks a bit through the dense forest. Glances back with a smirk, adjusting his glasses as he keeps moving. Nice. Not bad for someone who could have been a snack stash away from getting lost. Just keep that up, and we'll be golden. Snorts, almost tripping over a root. Wait, what? Oh, no, I definitely didn't mean the song. Unless you're secretly a fan of 80s jams? Grins and nudges Nazo with his elbow playfully. Either way, focus on not face planting in the dirt. Raises an eyebrow, still walking but slowing a bit. Last year? Huh, guess I'm a bit out of touch with the music scene, so. Hutter X. That a solo act or a band? Nods, looking impressed. K-pop, huh? Cool. Wait, you're a fan of K-pop? Smirks, looking at Nazo like he's seeing him for the first time. Adjusts glasses, trying to process this. So, you don't like K-pop in general, but you were out here vibing with other X? That's a very specific taste. Respect, but maybe keep that between us. I don't want to get roasted for not knowing all the idols or whatever. Perks up, looking interested. No kidding, same here. 80s music is the best. Nothing compares to that synth and those rad hairstyles. Can't forget the neon either. Peak style. Snaps his fingers, nodding eagerly. Exactly. MJ was the king, the absolute king. The dude had all the moves, voice, and fashion game on point. The ultimate entertainer, no doubt. Adjusts glasses, looking thoughtful. I mean, I want to see it, but with the war and everything, not exactly a lot of time for movies. That said, you gotta tell me, how's the film? Any good? Or is it more hype than reality? Raises an eyebrow, trying to hide his surprise. Seriously? You're the fan. How can you not have seen it already? I'd figure you'd be first in line, getting popcorn and all that, the moment it hit theaters. Pauses, looking sympathetic. Dude, that's rough. Money's tight for everyone, right now. I don't even remember the last time I had the chance to splurge on a popcorn and a ticket. Laughs, shaking his head. Golden reference game on point, man. At this rate, I'll end up with an entire playlist made of 80s pop by the end of this. Not that I'm complaining, just saying we should find a movie theater when this war blows over, watch that MJ flick. Just don't expect me to dance like him. Nods solemnly, looking serious. Exactly. MJ was one in a million, man. We'd all look like a bunch of clowns trying to do the moonwalk. I prefer to keep my dignity intact. grinning, adjusting his glasses. Oh, now that's a good question. You think they'd leave out Beat It? Or Billie Jean? Nah, no way. Those are the classics. I bet you anything they throw in at least one of them for pure hype value alone. Unless this is some kind of weird alternate universe where MJ never wrote them, which would be tragic. Snaps his fingers, nodding with excitement. Oh man, you're on a roll now. You're right, those are all iconic songs. You gotta have Thriller. And Bad, that's a classic too. Black and White, Will You Be There? This is a damn good set list you're coming up with, not gonna lie. They have to have all those. There's no way they skip them, right? Sighs, crossing his arms. Yeah, true. I want to say they have to for how iconic they are. But movies sometimes make weird decisions when choosing soundtracks, you know? Let's hope they make the right ones. And actually include these. Nods, resuming walking as he looks around. It'd be a real bummer if they left any of those out. Fingers crossed they go for quality over, whatever they usually pick. I mean, come on. This is MJ we're talking about. Can't have a movie about the king without his killer tunes. Smirks, nudging Nazo with his elbow. Exactly. No MJ flick is complete without his greatest hits backing it. It'd be like trying to eat pizza without cheese. Just wrong, man. He starts whistling, Beat It, as they continue walking. Stops, looking at the source of the signal. Huh, looks like this is it. He takes his wisp-on from his belt and holds it at the ready, just in case there's any trouble. Well, whatever is causing this is right here. Let's check it out, Nazo. Nods and starts walking towards the source of the signal, eyes scanning the area. He is wary and alert, ready for anything. Stay close, Nazo. Not sure what we're dealing with here. It could be as simple as a broken communicator, but with our luck, not likely. Jumps back, just barely avoiding the explosion. Whoa, what the? He looks around, trying to see through the smoke to identify the source. What the hell was that? Nazo, you good? Walks over to the hole, carefully peering inside. It looks like some kind of tunnel. He takes a small flashlight from his belt and clicks it on, shining it into the darkness. Swallows hard, adjusting his glasses nervously. Yeah, way down. Like, drop a rock and it'd be gone forever. Kinda deep. You think Eggman's got some weird underground base or something? Or, worse, What if this is an escape route for us later? Pauses, considering their options. Well, we came all the way here to investigate this. Might as well see where it leads, right? Could be something important, or just a really long and boring tunnel. He looks at Nazo with a smirk. So, feeling adventurous? Grins, holding out a fist for a bump. That's the spirit. Let's see what this tunnel has in store for us. But if we end up getting lost or encountering some evil robot army, I'm blaming you. He takes a deep breath and starts climbing down into the hole, flashlight in hand. Nods, impressed with Nazo's impromptu leap. Man, you just go for things, don't you? Me, I'd be checking the safety of everything. He follows Nazo, shining the flashlight around to see what the tunnel looks like. So far, so good. Just long, dark, and kinda creepy. Blinks, looking at the sudden door in surprise. Huh, why is there a door down here? He walks over to it, running his free hand down the metal surface. It's pretty solid, too. Definitely not here by accident. Nods, adjusting his glasses. Might as well. We came this far, right? He grabs onto the handle, giving it an experimental push. The door creaks open, revealing what's inside. Stumbles a bit, bracing himself against the wall as the area suddenly starts moving. What the? He steadies himself, looking around the moving area in confusion. Was not expecting that. Nazo, you okay? Looks around again, trying to make sense of their situation. A train? Inside a tunnel? He shakes his head, running a hand through his hair. Man, Eggman's getting weirder and weirder. This is definitely a first for me. Just what kind of crazy trap did we walk into? Raises an eyebrow, looking at Nazo in skepticism. You sure? This kind of convoluted, unnecessarily elaborate setup screams Eggman to me. Maybe one of his goons? He crosses his arms, leaning against the wall as the train keeps moving forward. looks around at the new surroundings, eyes widening in disbelief. No way, no way. Talking trains? He runs a hand down his face, shaking his head. Nazo, I think we've officially slipped into a cartoon or something. This is just plain insane. Stares at the trains, then back at Nazo. Ikek, that's it? We're on an island of talking trains and you're just shrugging it off? He pinches his own arm to make sure he isn't dreaming. Yep, still awake. This is definitely happening. Furrows his brow, thinking, now? I have no idea. I mean, how do you even handle talking trains? Can we talk back to them? Are they hostile? Do we jump on a roof and start riding one? He looks at Nazo, completely out of his element. We are very out of our league here, dude. Nods, taking a deep breath. Right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's find out whose train we're on. He looks around at the talking trains, trying to figure out which one they should approach. Nods in agreement, eyeing the brown train. Yeah, it does. Not to be stereotypical, but brown trains always struck me as the friendly ones. He starts walking over to the brown train, gesturing for Nazo to follow. Toby the train turns his faceplate toward them, steam whistling in a cheerful tone. All aboard! Where to, passengers? Gadget blinks, then adjusts his glasses nervously. Wherever's not here, he mutters. Then louder. We need to figure out where this island even is. Toby nods, a friendly smile spreading across his face. Hello, Nazo and Gadget. I'm Toby. Happy to meet you both. Yes, I can definitely take you to the Fat Controller. Gadget looks between Toby and Nazo. Wait, Fat Controller? Seriously? Nods, still bewildered. Okay, this is just getting weirder by the second, but here goes. He climbs aboard the train, Nazo following. He takes a seat, still a bit dazed. Let's see what the Fat Controller has to say. Scoffs quietly, shaking his head. Sir Top Hat. That's a pretentious name if I've ever heard one. And the trains call him that. This place just keeps getting more and more ridiculous. He glances around at the train interior, then back at Nazo, still perplexed. Man, this is something else. Eyes widen, looking at Nazo in disbelief. Wait, hold on. You've been here before? He leans forward, voice lowering to a whisper. And you didn't think to mention that earlier? Like, oh, I know this weird island of sentient trains. Just thought I'd drop that little detail right after the explosion tunnel. Rubs his temples, exhaling a slow breath. Okay, I get that. You do sound insane saying it out loud. He leans back in the seat, arms crossed as Toby rumbles along. But man, you could have warned me we were about to step into some kind of time-traveling train land. That would have been nice. Rolls his eyes, shaking his head in disbelief. Of course you barely remember. Of course you do. Just as we could really use someone with inside knowledge. Your memory fails you. He sighs, looking out the window as the train rumbles through the island. Just try to recall something. Anything. Even if it's one small detail. Please. This whole situation is weird as it is, so any bit helps. Mutters under his breath, still adjusting to the situation. Right. Right. Fat Controller. Sir Top Hat. The train guy who apparently runs this whole whatever it is. He leans over slightly toward Nazo, voice dropping again. You're telling me he's like The big boss of an island where trains talk? That sounds too absurd even for runs a hand down his face, shaking his head in disbelief again. This is just crazy. Like, seriously bonkers. Talking trains are real things, and you've been to this place before. Next thing I know, you're gonna tell me Eggman's a robot and the sky is green. He sighs, leaning back in the seat. God, I hope Sir Top Hat has some answers. Adjusts his glasses, trying to stay optimistic despite the absurdity. Sure he will. Why wouldn't a train controlling guy in a hat have answers? He leans forward again, elbows on knees as Toby was closer to their destination. Alright, just try not to act too surprised when we meet him. I don't know if I can handle you gasping and pointing like this is some kind of magic show either way. Nods, beginning to understand the situation a bit more. Okay. So he's the one in charge around here, the island boss. He glances around at the passing trains, still bewildered by it all. And all the trains are, what, friends of his? They follow his orders and stuff? Raises an eyebrow, surprised. Wait, the diesel trains hate the steam trains? So there's like a rivalry thing going on here? On an island that's already insane in and of itself? Man, this is wild. Rolls his eyes, shaking his head once more. Of course, there's some kind of train hierarchy going on here with different groups, because that's just a regular, normal thing to have on an island of talking trains. He rubs a hand down his face, trying to wrap his head around it all. I swear, this is what I get for coming along with you. I'm gonna have train-related nightmares for a week after this. Freezes, jaw slackening in complete stunned disbelief. I'm sorry, the cars and carts can talk too? And tracks? You mean to tell me inanimate objects are alive here too? Like, they just casually chat with the trains? Rubs his temples, trying to process the sheer amount of insanity. Man, I swear if the trees start talking too, I'm gonna go insane. Like straitjacket, padded walls. Insane. Takes a deep breath, pinching the bridge of his nose in frustration. Okay. Okay. Let me get this straight. So far we have trains that talk, rival diesel and steam trains, and now cranes at the harbor can talk too? He lets out an exhausted sigh. You know what? I'm not even questioning it anymore. This is just reality now. Cranes speak for themselves on this island, apparently. Leans back against the seat, trying to remain calm. All right, talking trains, talking cranes, talking everything else. Got it. He glances sidelong at Nazo, slightly exasperated. Anything else I need to know about this place that's going to blow my mind beyond comprehension? Rolls his eyes, crossing his arms. Fine, I'll wait. Better to get all the surprises at once instead of having my brain fried by one mind-boggling revelation after another. He huffs softly, leaning back in the seat as Toby keeps going.
And this part is